And then I said, where's the music? I think we still have the horror music set up right here, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's just do bridge.
What?
Not that. There we go. That's a bit too loud, though. Tune that down. Excellent. Make sure it's looped. Also excellent. Alright. Let me make sure everything else is good to go here. We're a little late. I apologize. I grabbed some coffee. Oh, I've been pushing myself to the limit these past few days. You just, please be patient with me. Alright, otherwise we do have a little shot of the map right there. Let's go ahead and get everything set. Who will win this FNF match? It is blue 4 defending and op 4 attacking. And I'll keep it for 15 minutes so we can get everything squared away. Alright, cool. How are y'all doing? Wee-woo here. We're going to be covering FNF. I'm going to be covering it till 6 o'clock. It is 3:21 right now, which gives us about 2.5 hours. That means we're probably only going to be able to do 2 rounds tonight. Looks like I'm solo casting. I thought Dream might join me, but I'll ask him for maybe round 2. We'll see. I've decided today we're going to do 2 rounds of FNF, if I can fit it before 6 o'clock. Then I'm going to go play Sisters of Battle Op on the ground because I want to massacre something. And I'm too lazy to get Space Marine 2 right now, because I'm going to get it. If I do get it, I would get it, only be able to play it for like 2 hours, and then, you know, be on vacation for a week, and that's not going to fly. I am the type of person to get obsessed with something for a few days, if not a few weeks, and play that to death until I cycle to the next thing, so, we're going to do a Sister of Battle thing instead, and then we're going to do Daisy on the Namalsk server, let you guys troll me. I'll do the final stream with the shrimp outfit, and then I'm done. Except I might come back and do a little bit of mission dev as well, because I am trying to collect VODs, trying to release one at least once a day till I get back on vacay, and then we'll go back on 2 days. But anyway, we are 10 minutes before the round begins. Let's go ahead and actually start covering it here. So, Op 4 is going to have to be doing objectives sequentially here. It looks like it is a terminal, then another terminal, and then a sector. You can see that the 2 objectives say inactive right now, meaning Op 4 has to take the terminal first. Gonna be honest, statistically, regardless of the sides, whenever you have something that needs to be done in a sequential order, 9 out of 10 times, and I wish I was making this up, but I'm gonna be honest, 9 out of 10 times the defenders win by proxy. However, this could be one of those few times where the attrition doesn't affect that much, because this is a very small AO. And it is also on a very big bottleneck, so regardless of what Op 4 decides to do in this AO, there's not really any room for Blue 4 to maneuver, to counterattack. This is literally just a thin strip of land on defense. The only other times I can think of where we've seen an op kind of like this one, it was a while ago, years ago I would say. FNF did the same AO where I made the Donald Trump wall back in 2016, that thin strip of land where we put a giant wall on it. Instead, there's no wall, because, obviously, but it was that same area within Altus, Limnos, whatever you want to call it, where it's just that thin, open strip of terrain, and then at the end was a small military base. And the attackers had to basically assault through that open area to get to the military base, and Blue 4 just made this really nasty line defense. I mean, that's the same type of fighting you would have in, like, you know, the Falklands War. Something like Goose Green or whatnot, except there were more hills in that. That AO, though, in the FNF fight was just all open. It was hell. And the attackers, even with a massive number advantage, I still think lost. Or it was really, really close by the end, because it was just an absolute slaughter. This AO, very similar. The difference is there's a lot more concealment and a bit of cover to work with. It looks like the attackers are going to potentially get the high ground moving in here, utilizing some rocks and some ridge cover to actually move into the AO here. And we do have the exact terminal positions marked on the map here. And then there is a final, I think, sector objective to cover here, which is, you know, this area. But you've got some rocky coasts to work with for cover. You've got a lot of, I mean, there's just a lot of cover-to-cover movement here. Definitely a lot of smoke pushes we're going to see done by the attackers. This terrain feels a lot more favorable. So even though, on paper, this is a subsequent objective fight where you got to fight them one at a time, I think there's a lot of room here for Op4 to still do a pretty big plan. That being said, tabbing out, we only have about 66 people on right now, so it's about 35 v 35. Actually, less than that. It would be like 33 v 33. Then you factor in the number advantage, so it's, you know, 3/4 of a platoon versus something closer to a full platoon. So I would say, you know, 2.5 versus 3, and no, even then, it's like 3 versus 2.5 squads. Obviously, then reorganized a bit, so it's more at the team level, but let's go ahead and actually start looking at the numbers here. So I'm going to go into mission details. Tasks here, as I said, okay, preserve the ruins, quote unquote, basically, you know, stop the terminal from being hacked, protect the mansion, because these terminals, they blow up afterwards, and then hold the museum. All right, interesting. Otherwise, briefing here, kilometer of render distance, 75 fortify points for the defenders, fortify color is green for the Heskos and sandbags, and it's a 50-minute round with a 15-minute safe start timer, which starts in 7 minutes. Mission rules, do not fortify on the ruins, the mansion and museum are okay to fortify on and around. So basically, I think we saw a little purple marker here. The admin came over and told them not to fortify, and they still built that thing. So we'll see if that gets taken down or whatnot, but they're not allowed to fortify that part. So that's why we saw a little purple tick go over. I think that's one of the new admins for FNF, just, you know, keeping the peace. Otherwise, let's go ahead and look at Blue 4. Blue 4's loadouts are Polish Special Forces. Interesting. So we have some... I think these are ACRs, but it's a 5.56 platform. Blue 4 is almost always a 5.56 platform. We got some 203 launchers as well. We've got some SDVSs or something. Basically a modernized SDV 762x54. Still a piece of shit in my opinion. Yet I'm a hypocrite because I use it in, you know, Stillwater, but I mean, that's PvE, but regardless. And then you got 200 round Mini-Me's M2 49s, the European equivalent. I mean, it's the same platform. Squad automatic weapon either way. AT4s for their single-shot disposable AT, the light anti-tank gunners in the squads, and then the medium machine gunners get the MG3. That is a great choice for defense, especially on these small AOs. That's going to really help lock down, especially if there's any smoke pushes. We'll see how many defenders we have on the Delta team for Blue 4 to have machine guns. They can have up to 4. And then, of course, statics, they get 2 M240s, but they're scoped with Elkins. So... very powerful, especially with these smaller AOs here. If they find some good positions to put these can lock down. Same with the MG3, except they've got scopes, so they're going to be much more accurate rather than used for suppression. Meanwhile, Op4, loadout's going to be Chechen, all right? So we've got AK-74Ms, RPG-7s with multiple rounds. I think it's 2 for the light anti-tank gunners in the squads. We got GP-25 systems for the AKs, SVDs, RPKs with 75-round magazine. Actually, no, excuse me, 45-round magazines. And then PKPs for the medium machine gunners. So right off the bat, I mean... Blue 4 have the better medium machine gun. Blue 4 have the much better light machine gun. The only Op4 advantage I see here is the fact that they have a second shot with their RPGs, which can be used on a shock weapon on some of the buildings, but even then. Otherwise, there's 2 BRDMs that are armed, which basically means you have a turnout section with a little PKT. Yeah, that's not going to go too well, especially when you're fighting guys with scoped machine guns. And they also have some HMG Land Rovers. All right. But again, just basic suppression weapons. Not really much that can be done there. That scoped Elkin turret is going to be much better than either of those because they can just pick off the gunners because they're going to be exposed when they shoot either of those weapons. Otherwise, looking at the roster here, Wiki Quartz is going to be leading Blue 4, Skipu, Venus 2IC, Maxic leading Alpha with Deadpool as a marksman, Helenazar being a medic, Curie, Korvac, and Chris filling under Bravo. So this is just a 3-man marksman medic team. But Bravo being led by Curie with Korvac as the marksman, Chris as the medic. Rolling Eagle, Lolo and Nekomata being in Bravo 1, Bravo 2 as Tomer, Waldo, Nafs, Finn, McBain, and Omri under him. Charlie being led by Eric Hiru, Major Khan being the marksman, Ash, Little Banks, Tackleberry Banks, and Kazag all together. Oh, that's adorable. You know, in 10, 15 years, when actually probably 15 to 20 at this rate, but when I have kids, I would love to make the name Little Liru, if they approve of it, of course, but that would be fun. That would be fun. Anyway, Delta being led by, looks like Fonz, but we got Goose, Bursty, Meerkat, T, and Snodge Bear, but look, they have all 4 of those medium machine guns, all 4 of those MG3s. If they're put in a really good spot, they will be great. Like, if they were able to go on top of this museum building here, as they called it out, and use these Overwatch sight lines and stay behind the buildings here, bipod on the rooftop, that would be the best place to put them. I don't think having them as short range security is going to really be able to maximize the effect of that machine gun. I think also putting them on this building, even though the sight lines aren't the best, you might want to instead put them on the ridge, maybe separate them into 2 fire teams. That would be a lot better of a utilization, but this position down here sucks. Because, one, the enemy has the high ground, the enemy has a shit ton of cover, you don't really have good sight lines. You want those machine gunners to have big open areas to utilize those machine guns effectively, especially with the scoped Elkin. I keep calling them scoped Elkins. The Elkin is the scope. But, you know, basically magnified medium machine guns on those bipods you'd want in other places. Well, technically tripods. But, yeah, I'm a little worried about that for Blue 4 right now in terms of where their units are positioning. Maybe they're all formed up here because instead they're going to try to run up and set up a position up here, which I think is also a mistake because you don't want your machine gunners, which are meant to be overwatching areas, to be instead your point man force that'll run into your opponent first. Then the enemy gets to take your machine guns and use them against you. Probably not the best idea. But I mean, that's just me, but, you know, probably not the best. All right, otherwise, let's look at Op 4. Op 4 has Uncreative Name leading with Arcane as the 2 IC. Zixme leading Alpha with Reinhardt, Pingus, Vagrant, Depso, Cheeseburger, and George under him. Nemesis leading Charlie with Katz as the marksman, SL Dream as the medic. Charlie 1 has Cullis Twins, Iander, Yanni Finn, Spiky RP, and Remulus under Charlie 1. Charlie 2 has Puma, Wayne, Wise, Lurch, Fred, and Dobbs. Delta 2 has everyone together. It's Harrington, Michael, Zapata, Franz, Fairchild, Gates, Patriot, Martsek, Montgomery, and Norris all together. So that's a pretty good offensive team. I'm gonna be honest, though. One of my favorite FNF examples of PvP was their, I want to say it was like an 8-mission arc on Malden 2035. It was British paratroopers versus generic insurgents. The British paratroopers had 7.62, they had L1A1s, which was basically an FNFAL, which is a 20-round semi-automatic 7.62 by 51 NATO battle rifle, whereas Op 4 had AKMs, which were 30-round fully automatic 7.62 by 39. And I don't think there was a single mission, regardless of the players, regardless of the AO, regardless of every advantage they gave to the British guys in that campaign, I think there might have been one, but it was super close. But the others, it was hands down Op 4 won every time because Op 4 had full auto. They had more ammo in their rifle. It was just a much deadlier weapon than the L1A1. Looks like we had Blue 4 guy get knocked over on some barbed wire there. That's funny. So with that being said, I think it's AK-74s versus ACR, so that's even. But again, I don't want to diss the fact that Blue 4 have the better firepower here in terms of the machine guns, and I think that could very well turn the tide despite Op 4 having some slightly better players here. But it's really going to depend on if Blue 4 puts those machine gunners in a position to really do something. And this is turning into some pretty nasty CQC right here. We see Delta's going to be ahead. And immediately, Goose is taking fire there, so he's forced to pull away. And Blue 4 pushing up on the left flank as well. So Blue 4 is actually being a bit aggressive here, and they're trying to push on the front line. We already see that the 50 cal car had a guy dying in. That's Zapata. And contact's already started, so Blue 4 being very aggressive with setting up their defensive line here. We still have a few minutes if you want to put in a last-minute bet. But we'll see if Op 4 can break through any of these lines and go around. I mean, there's no Blue 4 really playing defense on any of the other areas. So Blue 4 is going all in on this defensive line right here. But that means this is going to be a very quick round. Flying Finn gets knocked out, which is interesting because he's normally on Scandi side, but it looks like he's going Blue 4 instead. So I'm a little worried about this left flank right here because we have a few different lines of defense, but I mean, you can also see that big amount of Op 4 that are going to start pushing this zone. So this is literally going to be, you know, a 10 to 15 minute fight. And if Op 4 breaks through on the eastern flank, they've won. If they break through on the western flank, it's not a guarantee that they win, but they'll be in a much better position to flank that final defense and then just bypass all of what Blue 4's put down and win. It's just going to take longer. You got to remember, though, if either side gets completely wiped, it is a win by default. It's the only, I think FNF is the only community that has that rule. Otherwise, we got Curie trying to hide in a tree here. He's gone prone. This 50 cal is trying to pin him down. Uncreative name is their name. I know, it's ingenious in my opinion. Otherwise, I think the BRDMs got left behind or just used for transport and immediately dismounted because, I mean, yeah, here they are. Literally, the gun is turned out. You're a sit and duck on there. Every time I've seen a guy try to use it in FNF, they get sniped off nearly immediately. It's funny as hell. So now we're seeing those machine gunners firing off, but they're in such a CQC area. It looks like Snodgeper was able to get one kill. That grenade, I think, just killed Dream. So a bit of an interesting gamble here to see the medium machine gunners this enclosed in CQC, but you're going to see that they're also going to be easily bypassed as this team comes around to flank. And I think this blue 4 line is going to really start to buckle when we have Alpha come around, because as they do that, blue 4 is going to pull back. Charlie on Op 4 is going to then push Delta on the rear. Delta's going to take casualties. It's all going to fall apart. Unless these three somehow hold. But Op 4 knows they're here and are already starting to open up. We got some Scandi players. We have Zixme from OFCRA. These are some of the most aggressive PvPers that we watch week after week across all the PvP events we cover. Though friendly fire might be Op 4's bane here. See these guys getting up. Deadpool gets taken out. I mean, he only had an SPD, so he was kind of in trouble there. And now we see these blue 4 guys slowly pulling away. Zixme getting some double tapping shots. Meanwhile, looking on the macro side of things, we've got Snodgeper in the middle of Op 4's formation here. He does, I think, have a machine gun. The MG, yep. So he could find an angle to hit a few guys, but that's only if he gets a little lucky here on placement. Meanwhile, looking over on the left, the entire Op 4 line has been taken out. There's only a handful of people left. Someone, yeah, so there's Chris with 2 kills. There's Korvac with 1 kill, but I think... No, he is blue 4. All right. So whoever got a majority of those kills ended up getting killed themselves. So that's nuts. So now it's up to Op 4's entire line here, but a blue 4 then starts counterattacking the Op 4 line as they push in. It's got to be done quick, though, and I think they're going to be stalled by the after effects of the fighting here. But Op 4, they still have a good chance if they can break through this blue 4 line. Snodgeper finding an angle. I think he just took a guy out, but Fred's going to find him. And that's the risk of when you are in the middle of an enemy line. You might not find an angle that you want, and then you're going to immediately get pushed. He still got a kill on somebody right there, don't get me wrong. It was still effective. But, again, it's tough to be in that situation because you literally have no one helping you out, and you're in the middle of, you know, bad guy central. Otherwise, we see Op 4, they bypassed a few people along this line. We do have some blue 4 trying to stick in the bushes here to let Op 4 push past, but Op 4 is now looking around and actually actively trying to find and eliminate them. We have another force flanking around on the right side. I'm a little worried about Op 4 right now because the attack has started to stall, and we're getting into fights of 1v1 in CQC, and against, you know, MG3s, the MG3 is going to usually win because it can put out a lot more firepower. We have a grenade that just took Maxic out, and then we still have one blue 4 on the right there. But just look at the number count here. What we need to see is Twins find Major Con. Yep. Hit him in the back of the head. Oh, that's a little worrisome that Major was able to turn around like that, but he was still taken. And Op 4 having a good bit of movement here, but looking at the number count, again, this group over here is really scary. Worst comes to worst, they're unable to move into reinforce, and instead they come back and hold that terminal, but then, again, it's gonna rinse and repeat. There's a lot better open sight lines in this AO compared to this one, and I'm worried Op 4 is still gonna run into the attrition trap I talked about earlier. Op 4, they still have a decent chance at winning here, but they really need to out-PvP the remaining blue 4 players. But then again, I mean, that's always how you would end up winning. I'd say blue 4 tactically has the best chance right now. However, if Op 4's backline, or excuse me, Op 4's little interdiction team keeps harassing blue 4's backline, literally, you're just going to watch these guys come in and, you know, take out all the guys overwatching. That's going to stop putting pressure on Op 4's main force coming in, and then they'll be able to quickly encircle and take the AO. Who's taking fire on the rear gets taken out by Cullis. That's going to alert the other remaining Op 4 players here. But Twins is already so far up that he's going to be able to infiltrate in. Goose gets double tapped by Cullis. Banks now looking around tactically. Twins looking around. Tackleberry camp in the corner. Might actually catch Twins. He does. But I don't think he had an angle to actually engage unless Twins comes back. He does not, though. You've got Cats now up on point. He's always one guy to watch. He's, oh god, on point with an SVD. Not the best CQC weapon. I'd actually argue the worst CQC weapon to have, as he runs out of ammo and the MG3 starts shooting. Thankfully, that gunner, I think just got buried to, yeah. Well, the MG3's gone, but that MG3 gunner, he couldn't control his fire rate. He swapped from Cats to fire at Yanni Finn. Couldn't control the recoil of the weapon and gets taken out. Iander gets sent to the Shadow Realm as well. Really great grenade throw by Yanni. It's a smoke grenade, though. If that was a frag, he would have had Wiki Quartz and Skipu dead to rights. More blind grenades being thrown. That one, if it's a frag. Yep, there it is. Yanni's now charging. He's going to find their bodies. Great grenade throw there. And that has helped stem the numbers a bit here. Now it's looking a little more in Op4's favor. Great shock and awe attack in the center there. A few guys going along the rear. Spiky might catch Banks. Oh, Spiky slips away from Banks. And there's the hack started. Panic throws of grenades. One lands right at Cullis, but he's able to pull away. And Cullis finds Spiky and takes her out in a panic. Whoops. Cullis was on 4 kills, now down to 3, trying to do some panic medical, but what's done is done. So we got Depso and Vagrant over on the flank here. I think just trying to overwatch. One of them is a marksman. They're going to potentially catch Banks right here. Depso trying to line up the shot. Gets one hit. See Banks doing a bit of a serpentine right there. I think I just saw a second hit, but it wasn't enough. If he can get his battle buddy up here, they can start suppressing Banks, maybe get a few more hits on him or even knock him out. You've got Ash now coming around. He's got that too, the mini-me. His squad automatic weapon. He's going to potentially be able to catch Depso up there if he looks up, but Depso pulls away, and Ash does not know where he is. Maybe he saw him a little bit earlier. We have Little Banks running around back there. Oh, no. Dad's running off trying to find the milk. No. That's horrible for me to say. Oh, he's just crawling around. He might catch Fred out of position here. Come on, Little Banks. Get him. Oh, my God. There's the beep. Hack's been completed. Looks like Ash now gets caught by Depso. He overcommitted down the line, but wasn't able to get picked off. There's the explosion. Oh, come on, Little Banks. Bro, I'm rooting for this kid. Let's go. He's actually doing a really good job sneaking up, but again, Op4 is going to quickly now transition to the other position, which now should be active. It hasn't switched to active yet, though. Interesting. Yeah, Vagrant's gone down. He's looking for where Ash might have gone. Ash pulls away a bit more. So we have a little bit of an extended fight here. Meanwhile, I think 3 survivors from the initial Op4 push on this side with Delta are now trying to come around. I think there might have been a script break or something, because now this terminal is supposed to be active, but it is yellow. It should be blue, at least I thought. But anyway, if Op4 get to it, I think the admins will just click it off anyway. So where are we at right now? Blue 4 are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 players. We have Op4 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15. So 12 to 15. Op4 maintains a 3-player number advantage. But when the numbers are this tight, that could change in an instant. One grenade could wipe out, 3 to 6 guys. All of a sudden, the numbers shift. It could really go either way at this point. We still have 38 minutes left on the clock. Anything's possible here. A little more coffee. We do have Zixme on con over here. I think he He might have fallen off of a rock or gotten armored or something, but with nobody around... If a Zixme falls off a cliff and nobody is around to see him go unconscious, does the Zixme make a sound? I would totally love to see Little Banks crawl up, find a group of Op4, and throw a grenade. If he could time a grenade and actually blow up a clump of them, that would make him the MVP here. That would nullify Op4's number advantage and it would just be up to the rest of the Blue 4 infantry to clean up. What I'm thinking is gonna happen is, as I predicted, Blue 4 just pulled their other group back to hold security on this side. We have a few guys now going south. Op4 is gonna send a few people here to hold that sector, to immediately take it as the rest of the guys try to attack. That's gonna make the number advantage roughly even. You got Chris corner camping here. He's gonna see Cats. Cats up. Oh, wow, he immediately drops that guy, and I did not see a splatter of blood. Okay, there's one. But Chris completely missed his shot there. Cat's doing some double tapping shots. We have an Op4 member run down. He gets taken out. A satchel is thrown. Tomer immediately runs for it. That could blow up the entire building. Well, I was technically correct there. It did, in fact, blow up part of the building. Cat's now going prone. None of the marksmen overwatching back here can now see him because of the wall in the way. Chris, if he's smart, he'll push and hit Cats in the back. And I think Cats is going to be forced to do medical here. Slight clipping through the wall, but that's really tough to detect if you're not absolutely looking at it. Rest of the Op4 team is now pushing. We have a 3-man team now coming around. That's the remnants of Delta. Lolo's hiding in some tall grass. Oh, that's actually nice killing. And Cats gets the hack. All right, so the map markers are just glitched out for me. It says inactive. It's supposed to be active, but that is going to time out. And Blue 4 don't have anyone here to run in and stop them. Cats is going to run around the side. That was, I think, a 90-second hack, right? So it's up to the Blue 4 guys over here to run back around. Satchel gets thrown, but it was short, and it looks like Gates found Lolo and double taps him with a PKM. Flying Finn finds Cats, and look at that headshotting right there. Chris is going to be able to run in and stop the terminal. Goes prone just to cover it. I'm really surprised we didn't see, you know, Op4 try to just hold in from right here, throw some smoke grenades out, and then, you know, let anyone run in and take it, because this was secured. But, again, Cats probably didn't know that. He probably thought there was some additional guys right here, so he's just going to tap it and then run the perimeter. Tough to say. But this has forced Blue 4 to push in, but now we've got a potential pincer attack coming from Op4 here. So they were able to stop the first few trickling in. Will they be able to stop the next attack wave? And with Blue 4 now repositioned to be inside here, that's given up a lot of lines. We have Omri over here trying to fire in the Blue 4 group here. The hack got restarted somehow. Terminal 4 hack has been started by Blue 4. What? What? Wait. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Something's not right. Blue 4 are making a run for it. Once the hack has started, they have to constantly trigger it. That's... wow. Oh. No, but this is a sector. There's no terminal here. I thought maybe there was like another terminal there instead of a sector. No, I think it's bugged. There, yeah, so Blue 4, for whatever reason, they don't have the disarm ability. They just have a way to reset the timer. And that's caused some panic amongst the Blue 4 here. Nemesis gets taken out by Ash. More shots going in. Ash double taps. Ash gonna get around Fred. Some panic shooting. Can the 249 outlast it? Cannot. Fred finally lines up his weapon and is able to take Ash out. Terminal still going. Grenades going out. Blue 4 trying their best to cover this. Grenade going out. Tomer trying to move up to reset it. Gets the kill. Is that a smoke? Oh, it's a thermite. Yeah, so he just has to constantly restart the hack. That's kind of funny. More grenades going in. And we've got some RPGs firing out here. Blue 4 have a few guys. Banks might be able to stop the 3 on the sector there. One of them gets taken out. A little bit of crossfire there. One of them gets shot in the back. They're now sweeping and breaching. I'm not sure if they'll interact with the terminal since it's already being hacked here. I'm gonna be honest, this is a difficult call for me to make, but I think it still would have played out as an Op4 victory. You know what I mean? Because even if we had, you know, those 4 guys fighting the 2 guys in there, even if Blue 4 decided to fold in more people, this would have just turned into someone throwing a satchel charge in here and killing everybody. To be perfectly honest. If not, it would have been grenade spam, and then Op4 would have still gotten everyone, and you still saw that. They still came in and bulldozed the objective. Yeah, Blue 4 occasionally had to come up, and that might have cost Tomer his life. That might have caused a little bit of confusion with maybe some Blue 4 deciding, okay, that's screwed, and they start running off, but in either scenario where we have the current one or we have the one where it's not a glitched out terminal, it still would have been an Op4 victory because Op4 had the manpower advantage. And Blue 4 was doing a good job picking people off. But even so. Now, if this was, you know, more even, and we only had like 2 Blue 4 guys here, and then Tomer got shot, and the only reason he died was because he ran out there, and then Blue 4 were able to get like 1 more kill, and there's only like 1 Op4 guy, then I would have probably voided the bet, because at that point, the only reason Tomer died was because he had to interact with that terminal. But Op4 had a much bigger number advantage here because, again, it was 15 to 12. Op4 came in, started getting kills, then Blue 4 killed that Op4 wave, but by then, that increased the number advantage. Then you had this really nasty pincer of 3 guys here, 6 to 9 guys coming around on the other side, and then a few bypassed, and it was done, you know? I'm kind of impressed he's still alive. I actually thought that would have gotten him. But we'll see if that now transparents over to here. We might have to see the admins call it manually because now this should be getting counted down. And the only one still alive is Little Banks. I'm gonna do it to him. I'm gonna do it to him. Oh my god, I'm such a jerk, Banks. I hope you find this funny. Can Little Banks channel his inner Audrey Hotto and eliminate Vagrant and Depso and hold off the rest of Op4 to win the match for Blue 4? Let's find out. Go, Little Banks! I'm not sure if Depso... I think Depso actually didn't just see him there. That's amazing. The admins have to be manually counting the sector, though, because it should be done at, like, 45. No! No! Ah! Little Banks! No! No! And that's all Blue 4 eliminated. I didn't have to do him that dirty, but, you know, sometimes we just need the round to move on. Yeah, GG. If I have a mod in chat, can you pay it out to Op4 for me? There it is. But yeah, we'll be covering round 2 and seeing how things go. But again, if there were 6 guys left on that side, so again, if it was closer to maybe like 2 or 3, then I would have avoided it. But just Op4 had such a big number advantage there. I think it sets for itself. Poor timing, yeah. No, I'm just evil and I cast a curse people when I want to get to the next round. I'm sorry. I'm not, but you know. Oh well. What can you do? Let's see it switch to the next mission. Now, I hope we don't have a repeat of last week where the first round goes by relatively quickly and then the second round takes the entire time because it's some god-awful massive AO. And then even when we get to, like, the actual climax of it, then it just crashes. That's why I don't like to use District 41, because back in the day it had some weird crashing issues, and looks like even nowadays it still has some weird crashing issues. And I'm willing to bet it's tied to the Arma 1 trees. I don't know why, but modern day graphics cards cannot process Arma 1 trees. You see that in the Vietnam missions with the, you know, the older Unsun maps. You see that with some of the other older ported maps. Just the modern day graphics card cannot comprehend the legendary render power of the Arma 1 tree. Alright, we got Bekatov. Oh boy. This is one of my old classics here. Alright, this is round 2, where Op4 is attacking a Blue 4 destroyable objective and 2 terminal sites. Op4 has a 10% numbers advantage, which is going to be like 6 people, which, yeah. Oh, God. Oh. 2 BTR 80s. This is going to be a long one. And Gaz transports, while Blue 4 has an M1117, 2 M2 statics. The AA variant means it's the standing one. And some unarmed Humvees. Okay. Might not be super, super big, but it's still going to be a bigger AO because the vehicles are going to transport and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm going to be honest, I would love to get a bit of a bigger player count for it, maybe back up to the 30s and 40s, and if I ever do, I would love to remaster the original Arstotzka campaign I did. Because we did it on Bekatov. That was fun. There's a giant silverfish crawling up the wall right now. Oh, if Bloodwind sees that, there's going to be screaming in this house. I deal with it, but it's about 25 feet up the wall. Yeah, and it's just there. Well, hopefully, if you hear screaming in the background, that's why. Old DX9 games and newer GPU drivers have issues. Borderlands 2 and pre, yeah. It's a VRAM issue, and it's a VRAM memory leak issue as well, so. Oh, well. So I just got told in DMs too, if anyone remembers yesterday, the POG pay-for campaign, we had a T-50 in the air that randomly exploded by the airbase. I'm being told the Cash Jet, not Cash Jet, excuse me, the Castrone, the one with the 6 AGMs, might have actually manually guided a rocket, technically a missile, into it. the thought of a drone guiding an AGM manually into a T-50, that's nuts. Then again, we saw the A-10 dogfight a MiG-29 and another T-50 and kill him, so anything's possible. Yes, honey. Hi. Oh, thank God. Oh, you're going? Right, you said so. Yeah. Don't scream. Thank you for not screaming. Yeah, it was above the TV. That thing climbed. But yeah. Thank you for not screaming. It's my fault now, or not my fault. My problem now? Yeah, all right. Bye, hon. Love you. Thank you for not screaming. 1 second. Hold on, get over here. Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we? Video proofer didn't happen. I don't know if King was recording it, but that'd be pretty cool to watch. Hold on. Sorry, someone DMing me about another Discord scam going on. Chuckleheads. I think I've had that one too, where someone DMs me and says, "Oh my gosh, I accidentally reported your account by mistake. Can you like jump through all these hoops and download all these things?" And it's like, no, you freaking retard. Never ever download anything that random people send you over Discord. Don't click on any dodgy links, because once you do, you're screwed. Because Discord has decided when you log in, your session has an active authentication token or something like that, and how they basically steal your account is they get that authentication token, and then they're basically able to get into your account just by that token, which in my opinion is a massive security oversight. But, oh well. Hell, I had someone give me spam links, and the last time I DM'd them was like 2019. So 5 years later, and I was still apparently in that person's history, so they'll just send messages to everybody, man. Oh, that's wild. Have I ever taken part of FNF as a player? Yes, I did. I want to say 3 years ago. I didn't get a single kill, and it was because that we were constantly kept in the rear of the entire force, and when I finally like got into a position to actually see enemy, I was immediately headshotted. That was on Ramadi? I forget the map, but it's one of those small ported Arma 2 islands where the AO was the entire island, and we lost. Because I had no idea what was going on, my squad had no idea what was going on. It was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, no, PvP isn't really my cup of tea, and that's partially because of, One of my first big experiences in PvP was a complete disaster. And it kind of has turned me off from playing it ever since. I didn't command in a Chernarus airbase. It was that's the exact experience I was talking about. I commanded 3 platoons at the company level in Kunduz, Afghanistan, and the scenario was literally the definition of scuffed, because the enemy were basically allowed to spawn camp us for 2 out of 6 hours. And only after I started breaking some of the rules that the enemy was also breaking did I, get a bunch of flack for it and debrief. But that's when, I was actually able to break us out of said encirclement. It was dumb. It was very dumb. Silver lining, that's where I met Vix. But that's also, that also let me down on the path where I ended up getting DDoS for 11 weeks a few years later. But that's a different story. Pros and cons. Oh, and that's entirely true, Killing, but I only do it 9 out of 10 times. They deserve it. 1 out of 10 times, I will admit I'm being a dick, but nobody's perfect. All right, let's go ahead and look at the scenario here. Let me go ahead and put the prediction up, and let's get things sorted. All right, Op 4's attacking, Blue 4's defending again. Let's set that up for 15 minutes. All right. So, let's go over mission details, and then I'll chat with you guys again. So, Blue 4 has to defend 2 terminal sites and a BM-21. Interesting. Op 4 have to hack both of them and destroy the BM-21. Briefing for this mission. We have 1,500 meters of a render distance, 90 fortify points. The fortify color is going to be green, and it's a 50-minute round plus the 15 minutes of safe start for 65 minutes. Total, excuse me. If this mission goes really quick, by the way, I'll be able to cover round 3. But again, my next thing is in like 2 hours, so gotta get through that. I was inspired by Kabubi's mission on July 12th, 2024 called Trench. Oh, that op got a lot of complaints. Because that was the one where there was these massive fortifications and this massive trench line, and HIMARS fired off and killed a bunch of people. And the reason the artillery in that mission was so heavy was because the script triggered per player, not once on the server. So that's why you had this massive bombardment of artillery in that mission, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. But people got salty about it because they died in that RD strike. But it's like, well, the mission says if you're out there when this happens, you die in the RD strike. So I didn't understand this all personally. But as someone that makes Arma 3 missions and runs them almost every day, I can tell you as an expert in the field, players don't fucking read. They don't read. You can literally write everything that happens, and they don't fucking read, and it pisses me the fuck. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue the briefing here. So, area of operations, open, urban, and industrial areas here with some construction site areas. Mission rules, 1, wiping out the other team does not influence who will win. Oh. So at that point, if... Okay. That changes it a little bit, so that doesn't matter for this round. If Op 4 gets 1 objective, they lose. 2 objectives, they draw. 3 objectives, they win. Blue 4 may not fortify on roofs inside the hiding zone, where the BM-21 is. Interesting. So this is like OFCRA rules here. Oh, buddy. Okay. So it's basically, here's how we'll pay it out then. If one side gets all 3 objectives, they win. But that means, right off the bat, that's going to force Blue 4 to divide themselves amongst all 3 sites. That gives Op 4 a very big advantage. That means Op 4 at least have to hold 2 objectives to win. So Op 4, yeah, so at the same time, that means Blue 4... No, let me reread that. Hold on. So if Op 4 gets 1 objective, they lose. And no objectives, they lose. If they get 2 objectives, it draws. And then if Op 4 gets all 3 objectives, they win. So when the point Op 4 gets wiped before they get 3 objectives, they still lose. If Blue 4 gets wiped... Then again, yeah, the wiping doesn't really matter at that point unless we go down to the end of the clock. Okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around all of the permutations of this scenario that could possibly go down. But yeah, think logically. If your team's not the team you put points on is not in a position to get the objectives and they get wiped, they lose. So based off of this AO, it just means Blue 4 off the bat needs to just pick 2 AOs to consolidate on and hold those. But anyway, we're running actually out of time here. There's a lot to go over for this scenario. All right, so Blue 4 U.S. Marine kits. They got the M27s, 320 grenade launchers, Mark 11 20-round magazines for the their marksman rifle, M249 for the auto rifle, a SMA for the Echo MAT team, MP7s for the vehicle crew, and AT4s for the light anti-tank. They got 2 transport Humvees, 2 standing M3 HMGs, and then a 1117 with the GMG replaced with... No, they didn't replace it with anything. They just have it as a mobile M2 platform. Op 4, meanwhile, are going to be Russian Ratnik kits, so AK-74s, SVD for the marksman rifle, 45-round RPKs, the banana mag, RPG-7s, PKPs, RPG-32 for the medium anti-tank, and then PB-2000s for the crew kit. 1 transport gas, that's a little up-armored, don't have that much. 6 transport trucks that are also gases, and then 2 BTR-80s with the 14.5 and 7.62. Looking at the... Actually, we'll do roster information here. So Depso is going to be commanding, Curie as the 2IC, Cheeseburger as the platoon medic, Uncreative Name leading Alpha with Trey as the 2IC with that GL, Arcane as the marksman, and Helenares as the medic, Rolling Eagle, Nekomata, Reinhardt, and Vagrant under Alpha 1. Alpha 2 has Deadpool, Maxic, Skipu, and Wicked Quartz. Bravo being led by Nafs with Flying Fin as the marksman, Norris and Montgomery under Charlie. So Bravo's just going to be a 2-man, potentially HE crew or something. I don't know. But otherwise, Norris leading Charlie, Montgomery as the marksman. Charlie 1 has merged everyone together. It's Fairchild, Bates, France, Harrington, Gates, Michael, and Martzik. Echo being led by Waldo with Korvac taking the medium anti-tank weapon, and then he's got Jesco and McVeigh as his assistants, so that Matt team has 6 rockets total. And then Chris and Lolo are being under Golf, probably to utilize the M1117. Sorry, I'm adjusting my headrest. Alright, Puma leading Op 4, Ash and Gazog leading Alpha. Alpha 1 has Tackleberry, Little Banks, and Remulus. Alpha 2 has Major Con, George, Twins, and Pingus. Bravo has Dobbs leading Nemesis, Malin, Lurch, Wise, and Savan. Bravo 1 has Dream, Tomer, Omri, Spiky RP, and Fred. Charlie has Patriot and Mike. Delta has T, Bursty, Rodrigue, and Wayne. Echo has Yanni with Hyander taking the medium anti-tank, so that's always something to bet on. Cullis and Cass as well, though the only thing they're going to be hunting is a 1117, so there's not really much that's going to influence. And then Snudgebear and Fawn's taking 1 BTR-80, and Goose and Meerkat taking the other BTR-80. Looking at the AOs here, Terminal 1 is in this little construction area. You can get onto the high ground from this building. You can put some fortifications on it as well. You got this nice perimeter wall around here. Not really any second story access on this building. You can always build something to get on top of it, but that's going to take a lot of fortify points. So, tough AO to work with right here. The enemy can utilize the little street right here to move up to this position. There's also this nice little tree cover area they can drive up to as well, but that one's tough. This AO over here is a lot better. You can get up to the second story, technically the rooftop access here. The building is partially sunk into the ground to help kind of represent, you know, construction site with a foundation going. You also have these areas over here, and you have one of the best buildings to defend in PvP because it has this top guard area. You have all this other area right here on a full 360 with all these windows that you can guard, and there's only 2 entryways, technically a third with a doorway, but again, my favorite building to hold, and you can't satchel destroy it. This one I think you can actually satchel destroy as well, but even then you can climb out. As we've already seen someone done, you can climb through the window if I recall correctly, and then you can get up here. Yep, like that. And then there's also ladders on the side that they can use. So it's, again, this is a really good AO to defend. You literally have full 360 coverage from up here, from every freaking direction. Yeah, there's a little bit of defilade cover the enemy can use to get up here, but it's just, nah, this is a great AO to defend if Blue 4 holds that. And then by extension, they can cover part of that AO as well. Third AO over here, I mean, this one's also kind of nice. You do have, you know, some high tops with 360 here. Not a lot of cover. You're going to have to build your own. But then you also have a little bit of an internal perimeter here, some earth ramparts to help block everything, but some trees kind of ruining those sight lines. But you do have these two towers here that you can also do a lot of coverage with. You have a shoot house building over here, so every window you can open up and overwatch from. This one, again, similar good sight lines, not the best like that super open you got around there, but yeah, that one's also doable with a nice overwatch point. The issue, though, is there's only about 60 to 70 players on the server right now, and Op4 gets a 10% numbers advantage. Not 10 player, but, I mean, let's say there's 70 people on the server. That means Blue 4 would get... Or excuse me, Op4 would get a 7-player advantage, which means it would be whatever 35 plus 4 is. It would be 39 versus 32? 33? Like, that's pretty significant. Granted, Op4 have 2 vehicle crews, so 2 of those players immediately go in, but that's 5 additional players to put somewhere, and that can make all the difference. So, really, what Blue 4's best chances are is, I would say, hold this AO, definitely. By extension, I would probably go for this AO too, because you can immediately reinforce it or pull units away from it. This one's kind of left to its own devices. Take that 1117, take your vehicle crew. Excuse me, not the vehicle crew, the medium anti-tank crew. Have the medium anti-tank crew go one way, have the vehicle go another way. So let's say the vehicle... I'm going to be honest, I would just send that up the damn MSR. And just try to intercept whatever it could. Have the medium anti-tank crew come over here in like a really open area and just try to lock things down. Have the 1117 go in the middle. And if it can't detect anything, have it go north and sweep around the northern side. And then be ready to come down to the south and then push north. Have the vehicle anti-tank crew set up somewhere over here and just lock down these open areas. Listen. I mean, even then, no. This is all an open area too. So just put them on that corner. Stash the vehicle at the edge of the tree line and be ready to just drive it away. But from here, you can, for a click and a half, you can cover all the way to the map border with that. It is a click and a half, right? Yeah. Put them at the edge of that tree line that you see on the map. Lock down the open to the south and all this open ground over here. Have your 1117 drive around. If Op4 goes south, they're going to get caught in the open with a vehicle, excuse me, a medium anti-tank crew shooting at them. They're screwed. If they go north, M1117 is going to drive down and go north and hit them in the ass, and they're screwed. And if, you know, the 1117 sees that they're moving north, just have these guys mount up and go north and play defense on Terminal 1 itself, and you're golden. Now, I will say Op4 does have the slightly better players in this round, but I really don't see how they can bounce this one back, you know? And then this is funny. You have a little bit of remains of the previous AO here. This is where that other trench line in AO was done. So that's a funny little Easter egg. And you got to remember, the 1117, even with the 50 cal only, it has a little bit of a magnified optic, and it has a ranging system. Not an auto range where you hit a button and it ranges on its own, but with the tracer ammo, you just fire one bullet, see where it lands, adjust, and then you fire another bullet, see where it lands, and you just treat it as a mobile sniper rifle. And if you see the BTRs, you just mag dump them, because you have 200 rounds per box. So you have ammo to burn. Let me verify that real quick. Yeah, 5 times 200 rounds. You just hold the trigger down until you see the rounds going into the thing, and then you just keep holding the trigger down. Aim at the center in the middle to kill the gunner, and if you want to kill the driver, aim towards the front. And if you see a transport truck, hit the front of it to stun the vehicle, at least to knock the engine out, and then just shoot in the crew canopy, and you'll kill everybody inside. I mean, that vehicle was designed for rushing. That's not actually what it was designed for. It was designed to be a scout vehicle. But in PvP, it has great mobility. It's only lightly armored, though, so it's only going to be able to deflect small arms from rifles. Even medium machine guns, it can still get damage from them. But, you know, like the BRDM. But the scope and the amount of firepower that thing has, compared to the 50 rounds of KPVT on a BRDM, I mean, it blows a BRDM out of the water. It's literally meant to just go in there, do a bunch of damage, and either die or run away. Wipe is usually auto-lose in FNF, but it's not for this round. This one is, again, special rules of Op4 has to take objectives here. But then again, if Op4 wipe and they haven't even touched an objective or they've only taken one, then by these rules right here, they still lose. I think it's meant to be, if it's the last 5 minutes and Op4's only taken one objective, but they wipe Blue 4, but they don't have the time to then grab those 2 objectives, it's still a Blue 4 victory. That's, I think, the only instance where the normal rules wouldn't apply and these special rules would apply. Let me look up what Detirius is saying. Favorite games I've ever watched you play is an op that shall not be named, where you said screw it and kept a bunch of new guys alive by going AWOL. Devil, yes, I'm gonna go sneak into the 5th OML and play as a sister tonight, because I love that new interface. With the one Zeus that was drinking. Cater, you're gonna have to jog my memory, because I genuinely don't remember. But I'm going to assume it was a Star Sim op. And if it wasn't, then it was a Halo op. I'm gonna be honest, 99 out of 100 times. Pretty sure it was a Halo op. Then it would have been in the 31st, I think? If Serenzik was Zeusing, it was definitely... It might not have been called the 31st, but it was the unit that Serenzik and I were in before he left and made the first MEU. And I'm gonna be honest, that was, I think, one of the only communities where I genuinely did not give a fuck. Because it was one of those units that was definitely made by a bunch of people to be a small unit, but then, you know, 2 YouTubers joined it, and then a bunch of people joined it after that, so they had no idea how to handle the massive grouping of people. And normally I'm super respectful, but that was one of the times where I stopped caring. Alright, where's that 1117? Bro, just rush it down Main Street, because Op4 is actually coming down Main Street. This is great. I grabbed 3 guys. If you could find the VOD, that would really help jog my memory. There have been a few times, though, where I read the writing on the wall. I know there was a Star Sim op that went like that, where Serenzik was murdering everybody, and I finally just grabbed a few guys and said, no, we're not doing what command says, because that's fucking stupid. And we were like some of the only people that survived that one Star Wars op. It was in a jungle. It might not have been Serenzik. There was another Zeus that was also a... He was worse than Serenzik. He would more often than not kill everybody, and I'm just busy saying, nah, F that. Because I'm going to be honest, Serenzik's actually, like, I would say 8 or 9 times out of 10, he's actually a pretty good Zeus. There's just that 1 out of 10 where he gets really sadistic, but there were other Zeuses back in the Star Sim days that were so much worse. Yeah, right, okay. If you find it, I can look at it before intermission if this round ends quickly, but we'll see how things go. So right off the bat, we're seeing that the 1117, it's going to be instead being used as a blocking position. I'm going to be honest, that is also a decent idea, but it needs to be in a position where it's like on this tree line overwatching this entire open field. If it's being kept in a CQC-like position where it can be easily flanked, I don't care if it has support on left or right. It should be on an overwatch point instead at that point. And then you have the medium anti-tank team all the way out here on their own. Okay, so I'm a little worried about Blue 4 right off the bat because now they're just piecemealing themselves at this point. You got the medium anti-tank team on point. You have the vehicle over here that isn't really able to find any good angles. Op4 is just pushing around the side. This is a great formation for Blue 4 to be taking their supporting assets like the medium anti-tank team of the 1117, put them on the far left and the far right and start sniping people. That's what they need to be doing right now. But they ain't. But yeah, back to the previous thing. I've got my own thoughts on Serenzik. I got my own thoughts on a lot of different YouTubers, but I will be honest, he was a decent Zeus. That one I'll be 110% honest. He was most of the time a pretty good Zeus. There were a few where it was questionable, but that guy And when it came to some of his custom work, too, I absolutely loved it. I think some of the last stuff I played from him years ago, where we had to defend Arcadia, and he built this entire custom bridge, like, he puts in the effort. And as someone that, you know, this is my job, great RPG hit right there on Vagrant's position. They're trying to take out the 50 cal there. That's a good call. We see the 1117 now potentially going around on the northern side. Might see it finally do some flanking, but Op4 is getting through all these open areas, so that's a bit tough. But again, back on my topic, going by my word here, for what I played from Serendic, he was, again, a genuinely good Zeus. Most of the time. But I also have my bad days too, so. You're going to have to show me the VOD. And then I'll make more comments, but I think the one I'm thinking of was a Star Sim op, and that one, that was also when we first, when Zeus's first got access to B2s. So this was like, you know, early 501st days. Yeah, the Zeuses did not know how to play with those. At all. Oh god, I got... Someone remind me of, someone say the word droidica when we're in intermission, and I got a funny story to tell you. Because that has reminded me of something else. I hope they don't roll off the damn rooftop. Also, why are they... Actually, no, I know why they're up here, because this is the only good Overwatch element, but if you start taking accurate fire, how do you get off? Yeah, there's a ladder right there, but you're already taking shots from it. And so Op4 already has this partially locked down, so these other two guys are kind of screwed. They got the 50 cal. Oh, actually did pick Spiky off. So now you've got, what is this, a Humvee with Echo coming around, but they're going to run into Op4, a mixture of Delta, and oh my god. And then the 1117, it's still playing defense. If it was a BRDM, I would agree with that because it doesn't have the range. But the 1117, you could literally just put it in here and start picking people off. And if you felt that you were under threat from AT, then just move the position every like 10 to 20 seconds. But I think they're here so Sam can now range shots for the BRDM because they're trying to find an open angle here to fire that 50. And this BTR is tucked away on this side. So right now, the 1117 really just needs to get on the flank and try to harass where it can, because otherwise Op4 is going to get right on top of it and take it out, and it's going to be a bit of a waste of the asset. But again, BRDM, you can't scope it in. It only has 50 rounds of that 14.5, but it has a shit ton of that 7.62x54. I think it's a 250 round belt, or box, excuse me. So that one you want to use as like a CQC asset, but this one, it has a little more range to it. But I can see what they're doing with it. Sam might see the front of that BTR. I'm not sure if the 1117 will find an angle on it. But look at this. Op4's immediately vaulting. Skippoo's trying to be on the rear here and take people out. Wikicords comes out and misses all of his shots on Puma. Ambush gone wrong. Oh my god. He just throws an explosive charge and says, F it. You hear the 50 now unloading in that BTR. It's caused someone to get knocked out. More explosives going off. I think that double tapped. One Blue 4 guys down. Skippoo's now moving in. He gets the kill there. Oh. Blue 4 doing a bit of a holdout. Other Blue 4, the medium anti-tank team now pushing as this group's now coming around. BTR pushing down Main Street. 1117 was able to get that vehicle disabled, but now we've got... Oh, it looks like they also shot out the gas that came down here, but now we have Iander trying to sight in on this vehicle, but looks like they're going to move. But again, look at the amount of Op4 of actually getting towards the objective. Blue 4, they've got a good reserve back here. 50 cal fires. Iander misses the shot, I think, in a panic, and he is knocked out. And the 50 cal is now just dropping people. BTR, I think, got an angle on the 1117 engage. They took a rocket, though, so they're immediately trying to run, got more suppressive fire. And Blue 4 is literally... I mean, this was a really clever ambush, though. They've got a few guys in various areas that are taking out Blue 4 as they move in. Deadpool is just suppressing with that 249. And he shuts the door and you hear a bit of a reload. Spiky a bit deaf, I guess, to not hear the 249 gunner behind her. Tackle blind. Oh gosh, look at this. Tackle doesn't realize his door got opened and he can't hear the door. That's the funniest thing. Is he gonna check this now? Hello? And the blue 4 guy forgot to aim. He forgot to aim. Anyway, blue 4 medium anti-tank team looks like some of them came around at a different angle, but the actual medium anti-tank gunner Korvac just got taken out. That's unfortunate. 117 is now repositioning to the south. I agree with that call, but now Op4 is going to be too far in these areas here to really be sighted. It's going to take blue 4 more time to sight targets, and that gives Op4 more time to find it, locate it, and hit it with AT. You'll mark it later as a clip, yeah, right? McBain finds another Op4 member, takes him out. We see a spent AT-4 tube right here. BTR pushing up. I think it's firing at some of the infantry right here. Does blue 4 have any anti-tank right here? I don't see any. And that's going to be a bit of a problem for blue 4. Their best bet would be to find an RPG, but good luck. Other BTR is now pushing south as the 117 is staying in the tree line. They might have to duel it out. Meanwhile, Iander was able to be mediced up. Yanni is still up, and I think they got the other wounded guy, which is Katz, up over here. I just don't know where he's gone. Oh, he ran back to get a truck, so they're going to use that to try to hunt down the 117 now. So I think at this rate, Op4 is definitely going to be able to get this area here. We see the 117 down here. It's trying to take people out as they cross. That smoke slightly obscured that advance, though, so the 117 wasn't able to line that shot up. However, the BTR-80 moving down south could catch that 117. But I think Op4 is going to be able to get in and take Terminal 1. Terminal 1's only down to 4 defenders. This one, though, is going to be tough. Op4 might get smart and send another team to hit that other objective, and that's going to at least force this game into a draw. If it's a draw, I just refund the prediction. No one wins anything. Tied game. If this mission wraps up in another 10-20 minutes, though, I will be able to cover round 3. It's unlikely, though, based off the fact Op4 is going to take another 5 to 10 minutes just to hit this objective. And we see that as Op4 trickling forces in, blue 4 is taking them out. Yeah, this is where Vagrant died up here. He was utilizing that via, the static. Smoke stopped on the engine there. Blue 4 combing around, but it looks like Op4 stole the Humvee and are utilizing that instead. So these guys are going to get stuck. They're going to have to utilize the gases to push back into the AO. Meanwhile, it looks like the 117 was found by the BTR-80 and engaged. One of them needs to poke their head up and find where that BTR is coming from. Nope, it flamed out. They're screwed. That loss of that 117 is a lot bigger than I think anyone realizes here. That's funny. So, vehicle RDM rules, you're not allowed to run people over. However, everyone's locked in first person. So they were trying to circle where the crew potentially was, and they just happened to find one of the blue 4 guys and run him over. That would technically count because they don't know that that blue 4 guy is right there because they just drove right in. Because they were trying to get on a flank to kill the crew. So that is technically a valid fight. We see some shots coming in from over here, but that's a BTR. These shots aren't going to do anything unless they have a 50 cal. That 50 cal is going to cause damage. And we see that one person's been knocked out. Gunner is trying to give some retaliatory fire here. Snodgebear wakes back up. If Sam can turn out at this opportune time, he does not. Snodgebear gets back in the vehicle. They're going to try to drive away. Sam tries to pull Lolo's body out, but he immediately dies. And there's another explosion. Fuel and ammo might be done from that vehicle, but BTR is pulling away. Nope, it's flaming out again. Meanwhile, back to the main defense right here. Blue 4 down to 3 players as Op4 slowly pushing. BTR's feeling incredibly confident to push it now because it has been AT. But with both of these BTRs potentially suppressing that objective over there, I don't know. It's a lot tougher for Blue 4 now. This one's going to get drawn out, though. I'm not sure we'll be able to cover round 3 because of time constraints, but we'll see. Next stream will be in an hour and 25 minutes, and we just heard that 1117 cook off a bit more. Unlucky that it got caught by that BTR-80, but not surprised. That's just the risk that runs into this type of layout. Looks like Blue 4, 2 of them are pulling away and trying to run. You got Richard here holding to the end here. He's got a really nice spot with this 249, though. He could definitely rack up a multi-kill. The one issue is his ass is quite exposed here. Just look at that dumpy. Nothing covering it. But thankfully, Op4 going to go in through the front. Though Richard's at an angle to potentially get spotted here. And, yeah, he checked his inventory at the worst time, and Spiky gets another kill. Something just exploded back here. I think that was an RPG. And we see this BTR trying to charge up. I think it just took an AT hit, but it just intercepted and started eliminating some of the Blue 4 guys that were pushing. So Trey gets taken out. Pretty sure there's another Blue 4 guy running over here. I don't see a marker for him, so I think he also just got taken out. The BTR successfully came up and intercepted the infantry. Looks like Martek either missed his AT shot. There's the hack started on the objective terminal. I don't see any visual. Nope, BTR just hit it. Excuse me, the 50 cal up there just hit it and took the engine out. They're trying to coast it. Gun's gonna have to turn around to defend itself. Real quick, we have Wombat coming up this little opening here. He might try to put a charge on the BTR. But other BTR has been knocked out. But the gun is still active, and it's going to actively be flanking. And with no Blue 4 AT, they're not going to be able to cook it off. They're going to have to get another box in the 50 cal and continue to hit it. But look at that. Does it have any ammo? Okay, it does have ammo left. Yep. So now it's going to empty out. They need to focus on the middle and the front to be able to pick off the gunner. They can also... Actually, no, it looks like they've done that. They've hit the turret to disable a bit of it. Now the turret's trying to stay on the angle here to lift itself up to be able to still shoot. But that BTR has been fully disabled. But the crew is still alive. You got Bravo running 2 people up here. There is a smoking engine on the gas. They might have hit a tree. And it somehow took the engine out. That's a tough hit. You got Op4 with the stolen SMAW here. I think they're trying to find a few people to potentially hit. You see, though, this crew, they're smoking this out. They're going to potentially try to repair it. That's why we need to see some double tapping shots on this 50 cal. Now, they only have 4 boxes of 100 rounds. I know they've already spent at least 2 of them. So it's a tough call to make. But that BTR is going to be able to be repaired. But as soon as it starts firing, someone's going to get back on it and hit it again. Anti-R round coming down. Numbers-wise, though, I'm a little worried because Op4 still have that number advantage. And then you got some Op4 over here that have done a super far dismount. They're trying to climb up this tower to look around. I think they're trying to scout this objective out, but that 4-man team's going to come in and take that. This game is at least going to be a draw then. Because regardless of what happens for this final objective, Op4 is going to be able to get their hands on that other side. No Blue 4 defenders. It's at least going to go into a draw. But I'm leaning towards Op4 right now. And it just goes to show how important, you know, when you're giving something like a 1117, you have to know exactly how to use it. And I'm going to be honest, that's tough. Especially, we have the bias of having a complete top-down viewership. The map isn't that revealing. You see the tree line, but you have to really look for those trees. But at the same time, how Blue 4 utilized it also wasn't bad. They were able to disable a BTR temporarily. They were able to harass one of the, actually, no, the AT team and get a few kills off of them. They just got unlucky and ran into the other BTR because it decided to do a Hail Mary flank around, and it actually caught the 1117. And Blue 4, again, they did the strategy I recommended. But now Blue 4 just doesn't have the manpower to hold this position. Now you're going to see the BTR going on a massive flank around and starting to pick people off from the other side. So Blue 4, I think they did everything right, and they still lost. Especially with the ambushing in here, it got a few kills. Don't get me wrong, I just don't think it got enough kills. Because we see one Op 4, one Blue 4, second Blue 4, second Op 4, third Blue 4, third Op 4, fourth Op 4, and then there, I could have sworn. Yeah, there's the other one. So they traded evenly in those ambushes, and that was where they didn't want to trade evenly. Especially considering Op 4 had a 10% number advantage, which again, for 70-ish players, meant that Op 4 had 7 additional players on the field. And if you're going to trade evenly when your opponent has such a higher number advantage, you're screwed. Because you have to get at least, 2 kills to start winding down that advantage. As the defenders, they just weren't able to do it. BTR found the turret and started suppressing everybody off of that area. Now they can't get on it. It still has ammo. No, it doesn't. That's just a texture box of the ammo, but I don't see any ammo actually feeding into the gun. So I think that gun's dry. So they don't have any solution against these BTRs. You see all these spent AT4 rounds, and it doesn't help that the weapon team, the Smog, got intercepted. The only thing that could turn this around is maybe Nafs and Korvac here. No, excuse me, Flying Finn. Korvac was the AT gunner that died. They could flank around and pick some of these people off. And maybe through there they can thin out the number advantage enough, but this is going to go to time. Because this Op 4 team is going to slowly make their way into the destroy objective here, eventually destroy it, moving from another flank. These guys could all get potentially pinned down out here. But I still am calling that this is at least going to be a draw. Op 4 might not have the manpower to move in, and if Blue 4 can deliver a really powerful hit on the northern flank and take out a few additional Op 4 guys, I don't think Op 4 then have the manpower to actually move on that objective, but they got some guys over there. They're going to be able to go destroy that BM-21, and that's going to be it. Hey, Razor, how you doing? I think for tonight's DayZ, at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be going over to Ghost Wolf server, because we haven't been there in a hot second. He's not available till after another thing I want to go do wraps up, so feel free to come on to Malsk Broski. It'll be the last evening where we have the shrimp outfit in a while. But yeah, now we're in this transition phase of just waiting for Op 4 to push. How does one join these? Your boy, type !FNF. You might be able to get in by the 3rd round, which starts after this round concludes, if you've got a quick internet. If you also want, on Thursdays, there's another group that plays called OFCRA that runs with a slightly different rule set. It's a single 90-minute round. They start at 3 o'clock. HK is on hiatus, so they're not running on Tuesdays till next season, which I don't know when that starts, but those are the main 2 PvP communities I cover right now. There's also TBD, which runs once a month on a Saturday. I haven't covered them in a hot second, though, because every time they schedule something is when I happen to be doing something myself. Alright, so I think, Nafs just got picked off. Flying Finn is up here, though, but he's taking marksman fire, and he's on an open rooftop, so he's in trouble. He's going to be able, that one shooter's going to potentially radio these guys, let them know there's a shooter on the roof. Finn does not spot Bursty running around, though. He does have the marksman rifle. Trying to find an angle on Spiky, but Spiky runs around. Choices. Bully me on stream or track me down in DayZ. Finn, buddy, you are playing a dangerous game with gravity. Oh, if he falls off, I'm going to laugh at him. These guys are still running around. Finn puts a shot on Bursty. Malin immediately knows he's up there. I want to see if Malin will throw a grenade. Just throw the grenade on the roof. Grenade the roof. It'll be hilarious. There it is. You Muppets. No, guys, you gotta get it on the roof. There you go. Roof grenade. Flying Finn jumps down here to get low. He gets spotted. Ironically enough, he's getting shot at by Blue 4. Look at Finn jumping around like a monkey here. Spots Spiky. I'm gonna be honest, I think that was a friendly fire kill based off of the bullets. What's Spiky's kill count? Spiky's also on 3, and I was at 2 earlier, so that might have been Spiky's kill, but at the same time, there were shots coming in from that 249. Jesus. All right, now you got OpFor moving into here. Iander's got the truck there. I see no missiles on the back, so it's not going to be a cook-off. And there goes the BM-21. So now, it is at least a tie game. Here's the issue. Blue 4 don't have a lot of numbers here, and you see as they're crossing around, they're taking fire from 2 different BTRs that are slowly picking people off. OpFor also don't have a lot of numbers, but Blue 4 are down to 2 defensive groups at the moment. One on the northern side, one on the south, and technically a third in the middle, but it's only 2 people. This group has the best Overwatch positions possible in any scenario, all open, all with cover, all with multiple points to run up and down on. But they don't have the manpower to cover all of those areas at the same time, and it looks like they might actually be routing from it to go internally. That's going to give OpFor the opportunity to flank in, especially Echo. If they go up the tree line, they smoke this, they'll be right on top of the northern position. I think OpFor's in a really good position here to win this scenario, which is crazy because this is one of the best defensive AOs I've ever seen. Ooh, good luck, Razor. Don't die of heat stroke. I still need you. I sound like your manager at that point. Nah, but in all seriousness, hope you're okay, man. All right, numbers-wise, let's see. It's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Wombats on the south. 2, 4, 8, 9, 10. To 18 OpFor, considering these are 2-man crews. Though one of them was turned out, so 17. 17 to 9. OpFor has a 2-to-1 advantage right now. Maybe Wombat can get up here and pick a few people off. He's staying low right here. He's only got that holographic, but if anyone gets in there, he can start plinking at him. Tackleberry gets knocked out. We have a Blue 4 sniper taking somebody out right there immediately. That was Harrington. With a little CCO 68 sight. Good headshot there. But yeah, that's what makes this AO so tough, is the attrition of having to cross through these open fields. Honestly, the BTR that's still active should be trying to pull back, mount people up, and drive people in. Because if they haven't been getting shot at by AT, there is a good chance that Blue 4 has no AT left. But I'm going to be honest, when you get to this few players still remaining, logic kind of goes out the window and everyone fends for themselves. You got some OpFor that have tried to run in. Wombat, I think, just got a kill. He's not credited with a kill, though, but there's definitely a dead body right there. Ash is the only person still alive right here. He's taking suppressive fire. Another critical issue that OpFor could run into right now is they get defeated in detail because they only send small little teams up to assist. Looks like this BTR is trying to drive up, maybe help this remaining group right here. But it looks like it's just driving around to circle. And Ash finally gets knocked out. But without any real support to cross these open areas, they're just going to get murdered. Just like this. Marksmen are going to stay doing overwatching stuff. You're going to have the Overwatch fallacy kicking of other OpFor elements are just going to watch from far away, just desperately trying to plink out forces. And I think with that 4-number loss there... What are we at? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. It's Blue 4 still having, I think, 7. Or Well, one of them just got taken out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still at 10, my bad. Technically 9 now. Meerkat now pushing on his own. Who's covering with the gun. But another group of 4 pushing in here for the central group, trying to use this small tree line, a little bit of defilade cover. We'll see if Blue 4 decides to turn around, but yeah, the BTRs might push up and just try to dismount because they're going to get incredibly cocky here because they're not taking any rocket fire. But I think Goose's battle buddy just got taken out by moving up on foot. So there's no remaining coordination of Op4. I think Blue 4's only potential exposed side would be the rear with this 4-man group coming in, because all of Blue 4's clearly focusing on the front. But now it's shifted back into Blue 4's favor because Op4 had no coordination and just lost about a third of their remaining manpower here because of disjointed attacks. And we see another 2-man group pushing in against machine gun fire in an open field. And as soon as they go too far to the right, this 2-man team is going to start engaging them. The only Overwatch we have is that BTR firing, and then Malin with a an ACOG on his M74, AK-74, excuse me, M74, good God, using the assault rifles there. Wombat trying to run up to the BTR to get an explosive charge on it. Don't throw it, he threw it. The thing is, they can potentially hear that and drive away, but he might actually get away with it. He needs to go prone, though. Almost gets blue on blued, and he blows up one of the BTRs with that explosive satchel. Nice. Blue 4 pulling in, Op 4 pushing up. Spikey gets killed, as I predicted, and there goes Bates, as Gates and Norris take him out. And now I don't think Op 4, the only remaining thing Op 4 has is these 4 infantry up here. But they're screwed if Montgomery turns around. And, oh, I thought he might have seen them there, but he's still getting tunnel vision on this side. Literally, I think Montgomery is the only way that these guys get caught out in the open here. Yanni and Katz going in. We still have 4 players here. Harrington, Depso, Bates, and Cheeseburger. It's going to be an uphill fight for Op 4 here. Cullis is going to run and I think work on this Garrison with his battle buddy. If they get these high positions here, that could relieve... Well, there's not really anything left to relieve at this point. It's going to be up to these 4. Malin has his little sniper position, but he hasn't really been able to get anything with it right now. And then Major Khan just back there with the RPK. And then you got a regular gunner in the BTR. It's 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Blue 4 haven't lost a single casualty. That one guy that was down woke back up. Yanni takes some shots from Cheeseburger. Cat's looking around. I'm wondering if Montgomery... Nope, he's prone bandaging. As these other 2 start moving in. Cheeseburger with the lawn toss, so it's only a smoke grenade. Cat's now pushing in. Grenades going into the building. That one over... Oh, no, it got caught. That might... Nope, okay. Harrington's further down. I thought that was Bates up there. Cat's running. Harrington camping the stairwell. Bates is going to be able to sneak that mag in. Grenade gets thrown. It goes low. Ends up in the corner. Katz has to run up because he took fire from the base. Doesn't realize it was Harrington camping, but he does not pursue. So we got one Blue 4 guy that got picked off. Yanni trying to crawl around in the low ground here. As Blue 4 now starts sweeping. Cullis and Iander start breaching the compound. Cullis might get caught by, is going to get caught by that grenade. And he still gets a shot off to kill Montgomery before the grenade takes him out. What a trade. Harrington pre-fires, I think, hit Gates there. Yanni gets found by Cheeseburger and taken out in the low ground. After Yanni was able to get a kill, but again, Op4 cannot afford to trade evenly right now. Katz, I think his only winning card here is to hit the terminal, but look at Norris's camping position on the terminal. That's a brilliant spot. Katz now above him. Norris looking around. He doesn't know if those footsteps are above or below him. Cat's gonna potentially clear this position. Norris looking around. He's paranoid about those footsteps, but he is a good player by utilizing those footsteps. Major Khan trying to jump in. Wow, yeah, if Norris didn't go low, Cats might have been able to spot him. They can hear each other's footsteps, so Cats knows there's somebody down here. He also knows he's alone up here. Looks like the other guy got taken out. It is now 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every kill here is going to matter. AT fired up here. I don't think there was anyone there specifically. I don't know what that was for. Cats finds Norris and takes him out. Norris never realized he was right above him. I think he heard Cheeseburger and thought that was a friendly at that point. More AT fired. That's Wombat with the RPG-32 they stole from the Matt team that breached them. And he's trying to get a kill on Gulf 2. Cats finds Cheeseburger and takes him out. Now it's Gates, Harrington, and Wombat still alive. Harrington, though, he's got a really great angle from his spot to cover the terminal. Cat's doing some double tapping shots. Game ends in 15 minutes. It's now 4-3. Cats might have just brought it back from the brink. But can he get to the terminal and not get picked off by Harrington and not get caught by Gates? You got Major Khan now running in. Malin still overwatching from over here. This is going to be no help, in my opinion. And you still have Goose with the BTR. I think he's trying to lock down this one shooter's position. So it's really just up to Cats. Maybe Major Khan comes in from the south and assists. But this is all up to Cats at this point. Gates. Who did Gates just fire at? He might have just fired at Wombat. I don't think he saw. I mean, he's on 5 kills, though, so he clearly knows what he's doing this round. Harrington's still in that really good spot. He's looking. Every firefight Cats gets into, though, is a risk. Major Khan coming in helps even the odds. Malin, I don't think he's going to be able to make it here. An explosive gets thrown, but that's a charge. I don't think it's going to collapse the building. Wow, hold on. So, a few things just happened. Let me break it down. Cats gets the kill. The building doesn't blow up. I just heard a rocket launch in here, and I'm pretty sure Fudgehead McGee just blew himself up with the RPG-32. It was Wombat, right? Where's his body? Yeah, he just blew himself up because I heard the launcher sound and I saw smoke. So I think he tried to get an angle and he might have hit the window. And it hit the window and blew him up. It is now 1v4. Literally, it was... It was like 17-10. Then it was 7-10. And now it's 4-1. What on earth? This has gone back and forth multiple times. It is nearly... It's almost certainly an op-4 victory. Harrington could... No way he's going to run in and get hit. Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow. Cats took the explosive charges that Gates was using, and he just got a lucky throw and knocked Harrington out. Harrington wakes back up. He's going to be under pain damage, though, so if Cats hits him with only 1 or 2 shots, it's GG. And Harrington just gave himself away, and Cats is going to lock down that angle. Great blind grenade throw. I'm not sure if Cats did that or Harrington. Cats might have seen that grenade, though. Cats shouldn't. He's an aggressive player, though. He might push. But you don't want to... That's another explosive charge. I'm really worried that this building's going to collapse. Because a second charge should destroy it. I don't see any damage shifting, though. This might be an invincibly set building. Harrington has no choice but to run down, and Katz has a really good angle on him. But Harrington does not go down. He goes down too much. He runs back. Katz is waiting for him. And Harrington doesn't check his left. He is killed, and that is GG. Op4, I'm gonna be honest, pulled that one out of their ass. By literally coming from the rear at that point, but good God. That was insane. Wow. All right, if I have a mod to pay it out to Op4. All right, let me have a look at what round 3 is. If round 3 is going to be quick, I will cover it. But if it has a bunch of assets, I'm probably not, because that means it might go to full time. Because we have something in 59 minutes, and I want to try to show up there at least, like, 10 minutes early. That was some really great back and forth, though. Up above. Oh, there's a lot, though. Because here's the thing, if I don't go to the other place early, I might not get the one slot I want to play as Sister of Battle. It's just tough. Three BTR 40s, 2 BTR 40s with Dishkas, 3 Zills, a BTR 70. Blue 4 has M113s, and it is Op4 attacking once again. We're never going to hear the end of this from Katz. Yeah, Katz cleaned house. Very lucky explosive charge throw to knock Harrington out. Alright, I'm going to play it on the safe side because there is still a mountain of things I have to do anyway. But damn. Alright, we'll be back at the top of the hour, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. Like I said, top of the hour, we'll have a Sister Battle on the ground, and then after that, we will be doing DayZ in a shrimp outfit, and I want you guys to troll the shit out of me before I go on vacation. Please, make it brutal. Have a good one.